Let's see. It did say that it's setting up for live streaming. So if you're here, that means that you came through the portal. Let me mute this so I don't hear my. And for those of you catching this on the live stream, I am pasting a link in the chat in the live stream where you can come along and hop on in the Zoom room if you don't have an account in the new embodiment portal yet. You can make so. If you do, just there you go. Oh, it's not letting me paste in the chat. That's interesting. Oh, posting is disabled. Okay, well, we'll add the links at a later stage then. But if you are finding your way here, I'm really interested. Yes, Steph. So welcome. We're going to be starting in 1 minute and I'm going to be recording this. I don't know if you've heard, but the embodiment Facebook group will be closing. Steve made an announcement yesterday. I don't have the exact info as to when, but Embodiment Unlimited has made a portal that is free from all the negative vibes and negativity and kind of addiction algorithms of Facebook. So it is made for people who love embodiment and want to stay connected. And there is a bunch of free stuff there. There is these classes in the studio, 4 of them per day to help enhance your embodiment. And there is lots of good stuff. And you can have an account and have your own private messages and befriend people and join in forum discussions. So do come and join that. If you're catching the live stream, we'll be adding the links to do that on how to get to us in this amazing new portal. And let's start recording this. Okay. So hello, everybody, and welcome to this second class on Tai Chi and qigong. I'm very glad you're all here. It's nice to see you. Some of you again, some of you for the first time. Hello, hello, hello. And these classes are taking place 4 times a day. I'm on every Friday with Tai Chi and qigong at 1 p.m. UK, and also Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m. UK with a women's female and sexuality class. I was just saying that the Facebook group is going to be closing, and we're trying to move away from big tech. So for this reason, Embodiment Unlimited has made this wonderful new portal that you can come in for free, create your own account, message other people, make friends with other members, chat in community forums, and of course have access to a bunch of free stuff. There's loads of resources, including the classes in this studio. Before we get going, I just want to make you aware, if you're not aware already, Paul Linden's class is after this on embodied peacemaking with his method, and Paul and Mark are getting together tomorrow at 7 p.m. UK on an impromptu class as a response to the news that I'm sure you've all heard by now about the war going on. So they felt that we could do something about it in terms of embodiment, come together, support each other. Having said that, Let's take a minute to arrive. Welcome. Nice to see you. I'd love to hear what brings you here, especially for those of you who it's the first time. Some of you have seen before, and those of you who've been before. Let me know what brings you here today, right now. All answers are acceptable. It could be curiosity. It could be a desire to see what this class is about. So if you'd like to type that in the chat for me. Surgery a while ago, relearning walking, balancing. I know what that is like. I had that experience as well. All right, great. Let me start with a caveat. Okay, great. Before the pandemic, I did not believe in any teaching online. Most of all Tai Chi, I was adamant that that is not the way to do it. And you know what? I stand by that still largely. And here I am sharing practice with you. But let me start with this caveat. This is not a space where you will learn Tai Chi. If you have a fever for it and you'd like to really experience it, find a good teacher in your area, get in person. There is stuff we cannot do online, like pushing hands, strikes, you can get a taste, can dip your toes in, see if it's for you, but it's not the real deal, okay? I just wanted to put that out there. And as well, during the pandemic, I was humbled and changed my mind and realized how much can be shared online and what a connection that creates. So let's start with a little bit of coming in. If you want, you can close your eyes. If you want, you can keep your eyes open, but I encourage you to allow your gaze to move away from the screen. Maybe lift your eyes further up or look around. If you have a window closed, definitely look out of the window to the sky if you can see that. If you don't have a window close, allow your imaginary eye, your imagination to pierce through the walls. You know your neighborhood, you know what's outside. So allow your imagination to travel through the barriers, out and away. I love some of the smiles on your faces. Notice what that traveling of the real eyesight or the imaginary one is doing in your body right now. And we're coming to this with curiosity. Keeping your eye gaze there, notice your spine. Perhaps make micro adjustments, maybe. Notice if your shoulders are holding any tension, and perhaps with the exhale, allow them to become a little bit more loose, maybe falling further down towards the earth. Notice how your belly is at the moment, and perhaps intentionally relax some of the muscles around your tummy. Now be sure that you If you have your eyes open, you know your space, but have a look around at what is in front of you. Make sure you have no obstacles. And close your eyes. If you're standing already, stay standing with closed eyes. Bringing your awareness a little bit more inwards, under your skin, with the same loving curiosity, with a desire to explore how your body feels at the moment and how you feel in relation to your body. If you're still sitting, I invite you to stand up very slowly, very, very slowly, without opening your eyes. I'm going to keep my eyes open so I can see you. But the invitation is to stand up. You know your space, so if you need to move a chair or a desk, like in my case, stay standing for a second. Without opening your eyes, make sure your feet are hip width apart or a little bit wider, but create a nice, steady, comfortable base for your feet. Feel your pelvis and how your femur bone is elongating down to the earth, your knees, your calves, the bones of the feet. Maybe even press the heels, press the ball joint on the floor. See what that is doing. Let it go. Keep breathing. Micro bending your knees, micro bending your ankles. Tuck your tailbone in slightly. Allow your belly to flop. Imagine there is a string on the top of your crown pulling your spine up to the sky. From that place, feel your closed eyelids. And as if your eyelids are stroking your eyeballs, allow them slowly to lift up. As if you're stroking. And when they lift up, look far and away as we did in the beginning, piercing the walls, sending your imagination out in front to the horizon. Now I'm going to invite your attention to be out in front and also engage your peripheral vision, taking in the space around you. At the same time, some of your attention is in the back space, feeling your back and the room as it extends behind you and to the sides. Notice if you're leaning forward on your feet, on your soles of your feet, or back. You can even play a little bit coming forwards and backwards on the soles of the feet until you find the central point. And from this place, bending your knees slightly, starting a little bounce. Allowing your arms to be loose, your belly to be loose, your chest to be loose. Bouncing up and down, the soles of the feet are glued to the floor. You can make the bounce as much if you need some If you have some energy and you feel like you like this, make it bigger, or just very gently. And yes, this may warm you up, so definitely feel free to take items of clothing off. And the fists are loose, allowing the arms to raise above the head, making sure that they're not being raised by the shoulders, so let your shoulders down. Bouncy, bouncy, loose fists. And you're bouncing from your knees, keeping the spine straight here, keeping that imaginary thread lifting you up from the crown of the head. You can let out a sigh. If the arms get tired, lower them down or slowly bring them back down again. But I invite you to challenge yourself to your appropriate edge, making sure your shoulder blades are down and you're not lifting the shoulders up. Keep bouncing. And let your arms slowly come down if you have them up still. Keep the bouncing going. We are waking up the lymph here. This is a great trick I use. I get up every 30 minutes from my computer when I'm sitting down for a long day. I'm getting up to wake up the lymph when I'm not getting enough movement. We have very important fluids running in our body. The blood is one of them, but the blood is being pumped by the pump of the heart. The lymph, on the other hand, wants us to move, to get moved. And it's so important for well-being and health to have a healthy lymphatic system. And if you're tired of it, allow it to slow down, gradually bringing it to a stop, very gradually, making the movement less and less until it's imperceptible. Maybe sighing out. Notice how that feels, if you have any sensations anywhere. Some people tend to report tingling. Okay, and shake your legs out, shake your hands out, shake it all out. Come back to the screen. So that was a very quick warm up, but I would like to see how it felt for you. If something was uncomfortable, if you particularly liked something, feel free to type in the chat or unmute. I'd like to remind you that the meeting is being recorded and live streamed, but feel free to unmute with camera off if you don't want to show your face. How was that? And has anything shifted since when you first came in?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Oops. For me, at the beginning, I was a bit sluggish, but after doing movement, it felt like vibrations, that tingling sensation. So there's certainly more liveliness to my body now.
I'm saying thank you for that, Jeannie. Body's waking, more relaxed now, more awake, energy all over my body, more connected to my body, more alive, like the tingling sensation It felt getting warmer. This does warm you up, especially if you do it for a bit. Awakened, less anxious. Yes. Yes. Aches, pains, disturbances may come up here, and that's totally normal. And you have two choices when they do. Either reduce the bouncing and go on with it, or give it a little rest gradually, notice, and then maybe start again and notice. And I tend to be one of the ones that bounce through it and just notice it. But you can go with what your body tells you. Less numb, internal state more aware. There is an alternative if. Yes, so I'm going to hang back. That's a good question, Michelle. I'm going to hang back after the half hour for questions. We're going to stop the recording and the live stream, and we can get into that. So positive, life-giving, tingling. A lot of people refer to tingling. Okay, I'm going to share some more about that, Jody, in the end. Okay. So this wasn't Tai Chi. This was just a little warm up. It's based on qigong. It's my qigong warm up as well. My personal practice, I mean. But let's talk a little bit about Tai Chi, and then we'll start with something. What is Tai Chi? And you don't have to know. It's totally okay if you don't know. But if those of you who have an idea, would you like to share in the chat? What is Tai Chi? Caveat, I don't know. You're here with somebody who's sharing practice, who's still looking to really find out what it is. I have ideas and information. If you want somebody who knows, this is the wrong place. Big question. Yes, definitely. Definitely. I'm quite happy to devote the rest of my life to finding an answer. I was adamant about finding an answer, and then it dawned on me that I'm finding more questions, but no answers. Anybody notice that when you're practicing something? It's like, oh, great. I came here for an answer. Now I just got more questions. Wonderful. Thank you. Movement practice. Breathe with movement. Conscious moving meditation, all of those things have been said about Tai Chi. Yes. The official answer that it is an internal martial art, and we can talk about what that means. It does come from China and heavily influenced by Taoist traditions. Who here has seen the yin and yang symbol? The black and white, yeah? Hands. Yeah, so keep your hands up because I have to scroll through the screen. Yeah. Okay, so yin and yang, black and white, night and day, good and bad. Or is it? And, I, like everyone, was shocked and saddened by the news of what's happening in the world. I can say that war is a bad thing. Tai Chi is a martial art. People who engaged in warfare used it. I'm not saying war is not a bad thing. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying there are polarities. There's the yin and yang, the night and day, the black and white. And for the moment, and I might change my tune later on as I practice, but for the moment, I see Tai Chi as a dance between the polarities in a way to assimilate our resistance to some of them and fully integrate others. So having said that, I invite you to stand up again, find your feet, find your nice stance, hip width apart. I mentioned last time as well, a good way to know if your feet are parallel is to look at the outside line of your foot so that your knees are not coming in together or splaying out. You can even touch your hip bones touch your bones. Rub your hands together, create some heat. We're going to be working a lot with creating heat. Tap the inside of your left and the inside of the right. The whole hand, waking it up a little bit because we're going to be asking it to do stuff in a minute. Cup your hand and lightly tap on the top of your head 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to tap again and notice where in your skull or in your face or anywhere else in your body you feel this. So you're not hitting, you don't want to hit yourself, but you do want to create a sensation. That's why it's important to keep a cupped hand. So today I can really feel it. I was a bit congested yesterday. I can really feel my forehead and sinuses when I do that. You may feel nothing, it may take some time. And also cup the bases of your skull. Okay, and shake it out. Now, if you take one thing away, here's what I'd love you to take away. This is the most important thing that my teachers taught me, and I'd love to share with you. The most essential ingredient for engaging in practice, apart from having a body, I didn't say having a body that moves. You can engage with it in your mind. You can engage with it even if you're in a wheelchair, but having a body that is breathing, kind of essential. For us, I don't know, if you're in another plane and you have access to other modalities, maybe you don't need a body, but I still need a body. That's breathing. Breathing is good. And the other most important thing that I want you to take away from today allow a little smile to form, and this can be imperceptible. Nobody needs to see it. It's kind of a Mona Lisa or like a Greek statue for those of us in Greece. There's a couple of us here. And if you want, maybe conjure up an image of your favorite pet, person, landscape, something that makes you feel really good and warm and fuzzy inside, something that lights you up. Conjure that. Allow that memory or imagination to lift the corners of your mouth. At the same time, get connected with the soles of your feet as we were doing earlier. Allow your spine to elongate, being pulled up by the top of the crown, by an invisible thread. Microband your knees and ankles. There is no straight locked joints in Tai Chi. And let's revisit what we did last time. So imagine you have strings tied to your wrists. We're going to allow the hands to be lifted, but we are not lifting the hands. The invisible strings, like we're a puppet in the hands of a puppeteer. The wrists are slightly bent and the fingers are pointing downwards. They're being lifted up until shoulder height. Very good, everybody, nice. Allow them to float down as if floating through water. Let's do that again. Shoulders can be rolling back and down, clavicles open, palms facing back. Invisible strings lifting the wrists. The wrists are being lifted. We are not doing anything. And when they get to shoulder height, the fingers wake up and they want to reach that horizon that we were looking to. Breathe in. Breathe out, bring your palms together, let them touch. Bring the thumbs touching to your sternum, your heart. Breathe in here. Rub your hands. Place, if you're a woman, place the right hand on top of your belly button, cupping by the left hand on top. If you're a man, it's the opposite thing, left inside and right on top. Make 3 circles around your belly button, becoming smaller towards the center of your body. Breathing in through your palms. Thank you very much. I'm going to hang back after the 30 minutes are over, which will be real soon, to chat with you. Just want to remind you that if you want to join this class, if you're catching it on the live stream, Facebook will be closing, but we have a new portal where you can come in for free, create an account and interact with the community and find amazing classes. I'm not talking necessarily about this one, although this is not bad, I think, but I'm biased. But there's people like Paul Linden, Kathleen Booker, Laura Ward, Mark Walsh is doing coaching every Thursday. It's lots of good stuff. So come on in the portal and get connected to the embodiment community. And I'd love to hear again how that was for you. It was very little. That was warm up still. But I am going to be teaching these as a course. So we are going to be building each week. And of course, you can drop in anytime without any prior experience. Shivery, tingly. Where was the tingling, Geraldine? Sense of calm, centering, great. In the arms. Mm-hmm. Okay. Great. I'm going to hang back, like I said. Deep sense of peace. Hands were heavy. Great noticing, Claudia. Felt like floating in the arms and spine. Strong force that seemed to pull my wrists up, like being moved. I know, it's so enjoyable, right? So if anybody needs to go on the 30 minutes, thank you for coming. I'm going to hang back for another 15, but I'm going to stop the live stream. If you're catching this on the replay, find us on embodimentunlimited.com, come into the portal or the embodiment studio. Hope to see you in the next